Everybody, it's Grant from Real Talks. Want to take a quick moment to talk about something that's been on my mind. Went over some numbers over the past 3 years for me and my business, and I know a lot of people that set goals, and they set their goals. Too many people try to set their goals in December, and a lot of times they just do it blindly. It's all good to say, I want to do $30 million next year. Well, cool. Well, you did 2 this year, so how the hell are you going to do 30? You have nothing in place, and you don't know your numbers. And I'm surprised at how many people set their goals that way. You really need to start setting your goals in October so you can get the system and everything in track so that when that new year hits, that you're up and running. Well, another mistake I think a lot of people make is they have an end goal in mind, which most people do when they set goals. They're like, hey, I want to make this much this year, or close this many transactions, or help this many families, whatever that may be. And then a lot of times they just divide it by 12. Okay, so I need to do this much a month. In the real estate business, that is a very unrealistic way to set yourself. Well, that's actually a really good way to set yourself up for failure, because our business is not done equally every month. There are fast times and there are slow times. So what does that mean? What I did is I took 3 years of my business, and I took all the business I closed in January, totaled it up. All the business in February, totaled it up, so on and so forth. Then I divided it by the total volume over 3 years. So I have an idea the average percentage of business I do in each month. So, for example, for me, 5% of my business is done in the month of January. Only 5. So I should take my goal, 5% of my goal. That's how much I really need to do in January to stay on track. Now, definitely do not limit yourself to that, because it's always good to get ahead in case you have months where you don't hit your average. Excuse me. So if I were to have taken my goal and divided by 12, I would be behind by almost $2 million already at the end of February here. But when I use the percentages of the business I do in those months, I'm actually ahead by $635,000. So when you set your goals, it's really important to know your numbers and to set them properly, because otherwise you're going to feel like, oh, I'm already $2 million behind. I'm never going to hit my goal. I might as well just give up, and whatever I do is what I do. It's important to know your numbers. If you are new to the business or to any business and you don't have the data to be able to do like, hey, what's my average? You need to start keeping track now. You need to know how many phone calls you need to make, how many appointments you need to set, how many applications do I need to take in order to have a closed transaction. And it doesn't matter what type of business you're in. If you don't know your numbers, you're really setting your goals quite blindly, and you really have no idea what it takes to hit them. That's my 2 cents for today. Let me know what you think.